Overwatch was once the future of esports.
Our goal is to create
It really was.
the world's premier esport league, where teams and players can thrive for years to come.
Wait, let me more fans. Nah, you can say it wasn't all you want. You guys always forget the beginning of the game and how great it was. So, like, with the first big tournaments, like Atlantic Showdown and like ESL and shit, I think the big tournament at the beginning had like 70K, 80K viewers. It was fucking madness. Like, the hype was on, the new game, it was jumping both feet, and it just kind of crashed and burned, you know? That's just kind of how it is.
And fans are made for life.
Well, I'm
Blizzard,
talking to you. I'm taking your chat.
Esports fans and even casual players, everyone was hyped.
This is awesome. This is incredible.
I said, oh!
Wait, hold on. Beast. That manly voice. He grabbed the broken arm. Okay, I like her. That was shot. What is that?
Awesome. This is incredible.
I said, oh! You ready?
But just a few years later, the hype is gone. And the game might be dying.
I would rather do push-ups. I would rather lose weight. I would rather run a mile. Things like that. Those are some things I'd rather do than play Overwatch right now in this minute, because it is boring as F.
Well, dude, there's also a big chance that the Overwatch League is just gonna die completely.
How about you balance your game instead next time?
Oh my god, I hate this game.
So we had to ask, where did Overwatch go so wrong?
I'm just letting the fans give their, the fans here in the studio give their opinion.
The Overwatch League was supposed to change esports forever. Between the alleged multi-million-dollar buy-ins, local game days for city-based teams, and the involvement of some of the biggest organizations in professional sports, it really did seem like the Overwatch League was going to be the future of esports.
Right.
And then, it all collapsed. Poor decisions, neglect, and just plain bad luck torched what should have been one of the biggest esports in the world, leaving everyone disappointed. But how did we get here? Because all the way back in 2014, when Overwatch was announced, it looked like one of the most exciting games we'd seen in a long time. Overwatch promised a different take on FPS games.
It was, though.
It was more colorful, drew some mechanics from MOBAs, and just generally seemed like a new approach to a genre that was often intimidating to new players. And at first, it seemed like Blizzard's bet paid off. 9.7 million players logged on to Overwatch's open beta in 2016. And just a few—
Dude, when you say, oh, dude, COVID cucked this, COVID cucked that. Yeah, but it doesn't count because COVID cucked that. COVID cucked everything. Stop singling things out and making an excuse for something failing because of COVID. COVID fucked everything up. What are you on about?
A few months after launch, the game had 20 million registered players. Overwatch quickly developed a small, mostly unofficial esports scene, but Blizzard had something bigger in mind.
Blizzard Entertainment is proud to announce the Overwatch League, a global world-class esport league designed from the ground up to celebrate the best of the best on their path to victory.
The Overwatch League promised to revolutionize the future of
Oh my
esports
God, I
with
can't
a
wait to join that.
city-based franchise format like the NBA or NFL. This was unheard of in esports, but what was even crazier was the alleged buy-in. According to former ESPN reporter Jacob Wolf, Blizzard was allegedly asking for $20 million for each franchise slot in the Overwatch League, backed by major esports teams and huge investors from traditional sports, like the Kraft family, who own the New England Patriots, among other sports teams.
We see it as a great opportunity, and what I like about it more than anything is that it's a way to connect globally.
At first, the confidence seemed earned. People were genuinely excited for the OWL. Viewership was solid, the venue was always packed, and people seemed to like cheering for their home teams.
Guys, listen. I've said this story, man. I've said this story a lot of times before, okay? Don't get mad at me for saying it, okay? The venue was not packed, okay? I don't wanna ruin it, okay? I've said before, I'll say it again, okay? Okay, guys, I don't want to put them under the bus for this, okay? But this is how it works, okay? This is the arena, okay? This is the arena, like this, and people perform on stage over here, right? And the stands were like this, right? These are the stands where people watch the show, right? So basically, the first game of the day, every day, the first match, the people wouldn't come down the middle aisle like this, under in a tunnel, right, and go to their sides. That's not how it went. The first game of the day, you would go behind the curtains, and you would walk like this, and like that, and like this, and then you would go, right? So every team would go from the back, behind the curtains, and would walk to the side of the entrance, and that's how you would walk to go perform on stage. And the reason why that is because if you look at it from a 30 perspective, okay, the stands were empty. No, there wasn't a lot of people that would go to the games early in the day. So the stands, naturally, they put the camera on the ground, right? And it would only look at the bottom floor, which was the people that were seated. All right, and you couldn't sit up top or in the stands. You couldn't. They made people sit at the bottom, on the ground floor. So people had to sit on the ground floor, and they made it so the cameras would pan out like this and only look at the ground floor as people would walk this stage, because they make the stage look full, right? Because all the seats are full, and everybody's there. But in fact, when you would go to sit down over here, right? But see, this was fucking. There's nobody. It was zero. There's actually not a single person sitting there. It was just kind of odd, right? And as the day filled up, and you get more people, and they would spread out a little bit, right? And then the team in the middle of the day would go to the middle aisle, and that's kind of how it was. That's how it was.
Confidence seemed earned. People were genuinely excited for the OWL. Viewership was solid, the venue was always packed.
It's normal, I think, but...
And people seemed to like cheering for their home teams. Over 300,000 people watched the London Spitfire become the first ever Overwatch League champions, with 20,000 more fans in attendance.
It's smart though, it's not wrong, it's very smart.
He's gonna jump on the shot, Sado, he's down! London gets the main tank!
There is one thing in the story, guys, I don't want to be weird, okay? Last pause, okay? I don't want to make it weird and be like, and shit on watch like too much, okay? I don't want to be weird about it. The reason why I'm telling you this story is just to give you perspective on how it felt as a player, on how it felt sometimes that things were hyped up a lot and a lot of cheers, a lot of grandiose, right? And you as a player, you see what is projected into people, you see what our people are meant to see, you see what is being pushed as what's going on, and you're sitting there at the desk looking over, and you see the opposite, and it felt sometimes a little sad, almost a little depressing, just like when they show the pictures of all the people wear like jerseys or shirts, and all the, oh my god, look at all those shirts. And then you would walk to the practice arena or the practice backstage, right? And you would go to the alleyway, and it would open the fucking door to where they had all the stocks, all the clothing and shit, and they had like fucking hundreds of thousands of shirts piled up, and like not a lot of people would actually go and buy shit. That I don't know. The duality was always kind of weird for me. Seeing all the like really like expensive items, expensive stuff, very like rich, almost like luxurious things, but like not a lot of input. It just felt kind of sad.
Tuno can't get there to Resim. They only need one tick. They are so close. Philly desperate, but there goes Poco. And London Spitfire have done it. They will fly high as your Overwatch League champions.
Heading out of season 1, it seemed like the Overwatch League was poised for massive success. But then, everything went wrong. So how exactly
I left. That's what happened. And then it is what it is.
Did Overwatch go from hyped to hated so quickly? Well, first, Blizzard seemed to have no idea how to balance their game.
What's up everyone? This is Jeff here with another developer update to tell you about something super awesome, which is big changes coming for Mercy.
For example, when Blizzard tried to rework Mercy's Resurrect ultimate, they unintentionally buffed her to must-pick or throwing status. The Mercy meta took over the game, and it's not hard to see why. Just look at Muzelk res 3 times in 15 seconds.
Ready to go. I'm not seeing a kill yet.
Hey.
Oh, there you go. Hey! And he's back again. There you go. Okay. And then you're back again, boy.
Thank you. That's
Infinite resuscitation.
That's another res.
Jesus.
That's another res, another kill.
Okay, and give me just 1 second, and we're back again, boys.
Blizzard nerfed Mercy into the ground after that. But then, they made things worse.
Goats?
Goats.
Goat?
Goats.
It's a goat. I think it's a goat.
Can you explain what goats is?
We've talked about goats plenty of times before, but basically, Blizzard accidentally balanced the game in such a way that the optimal comp at a high level was 3 tanks, 3 healers, and no DPS. The death ball of beefy health bars, big shields, and endless healing ran over or wombo comboed any other comp.
Grabs, both ready.
Shatter, he goes around the corner, not gonna be able to find anything though. Shield is up now. Super's gonna have one of his own in just a moment. Sinatra, Grab gonna be online, answering Shatter. Manages to find Sominsu into the front. The Transcendent's gonna be coming down for Twilight, but Sinatra still holding onto the Grab. Answering Grab coming through from Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound, the bomb coming in from Jono. Oh my God, Miguel, he does it again. We saw it from him yesterday to get the victory over the Charge. Now he does it to take the win on King's Row.
One of the big problems with this is that Goats was boring.
You know what I love about this meta? Is that the commentators would stop and do play-by-play and analyze, right? Right? They're like, so what happened here is that they put the shield here, they did that, they put the beat there, they did that, and they timed the bomb, right, with the grab and then charged out, and they did this, and that, and then they thought, we need to use beat, and then they shattered this, did that, right? And then they go, okay, well, let's see the comms. Guys, where are you? Am I dead? You dead? Guys, what's happening? Guys, are you dead? You have shatter? I don't know. You guys, nobody knows what the fuck's going on. Like,
he does it again.
Nobody knows what the fuck is happening.
Him yesterday to get the victory over the Charge. Now he does it to take the win on King's Row.
One of the big problems with this is that Goats was boring as hell to watch.
That's just kinda how it
Barely
was.
any of the Goats heroes required
can't
any
see my
actual
character.
skill to use beyond timing.
Back in the beta, you had mechanically demanding heroes, i.e. you have to click on heads to get kills. You still had that with McCree, you still had that with, Widowmaker, Tracer, these sorts of heroes, right, where mechanically gifted players could shine. But then they kept adding in heroes that could displace. They added in heroes that had barriers.
Needless to say, the Overwatch League suffered as a result of Goats. It wasn't just boring to watch, it also sucked to play, and the player base got bored and pissed.
I would rather do push-ups. I would rather lose weight. I would rather run a mile. Things like that. Those are some things I'd rather do than play Overwatch right now in this meta, because it is boring as F.
We do see the Outlaws are going to pull out Dante's Tracer. This has been some of the things that Outlaws fans have been waiting for, is a good Tracer player on Houston. It's Jake on the far. This combo's worked well for them before, but as soon as they see the defensive setup, they will just simply swap it away. Crucial time lost here for the Outlaws.
I'm just letting the fans give their, the fans here in the studio give their opinion.
Well, you want your team to win, right? They're going to have to play what's meta.
Pro DPS players were left out of Goats and found themselves out of a job.
방황을 했죠, 어떻게 보면은. 저 혼자 좀 생각을 많이 하는 시간을 갖게 됐었어요, 그때. 그러다 보니까 계속 연습하긴 했거든요. 근데 뭐 쉽게 기회는 찾아오지 않긴 하더라고요.
And so you're gonna have guys like, Tavik, IDDQD, like all these like pure damage deals.
This guy had one of the best aim, and he played on a really a fucking wrist-sized fucking glass mouse pad.
Guys, they're just gonna fall off because you're going to instead lean into the guys who can play the Mei, or who can play those kinds of multi-role heroes that get lumped into damage, and then all of a sudden, well, there you are. You're not going to see the damage dealers. You're going to see the Meis, and nobody wants to see the Meis. Sorry, it's just not exciting.
Remember, Overwatch was supposed to be a fresh take on FPS games, but with Goats, it wasn't even really a shooter anymore. The game lost its soul. But that's not all it lost. In 2020, Blizzard cut a $160 million deal with YouTube, moving Overwatch League streams exclusively to that platform instead of broadcasting on Twitch. Fans hated this decision, and Overwatch League's peak...
Twitch was never gonna pay that much, not even close. I don't know how the fuck they got that deal in the first place. Guys, I don't know shit about what happened behind the scenes, but I know for a fact Twitch would have never paid me close to that amount.
Viewership dropped significantly.
And so when you're not on Twitch, all of a sudden you're going to lose that click-through traffic of just people kind of who are idling or doing something else, working, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, it's like, it's not quite the same thing with YouTube. It's harder to find the channel. You're not just gonna, you know, click into YouTube. I don't even know, like.
What about Logic?
I mean, there are people that stream on YouTube. I never see them. And so that's gonna be a frustrating thing. It's like when Facebook was a thing, right? Facebook streaming thing. You know, numbers went off a cliff. Same thing. So when you're not on Twitch, it's going to be, you're choosing a much more difficult path.
So the meta sucked. Viewership was in the toilet. What else
Logic?
could go wrong? Well, remember how the Overwatch League was supposed to be a city-based league? By 2020, that still hadn't happened. Blizzard had plans to have teams fly internationally for home and away games, but that just seemed too ambitious for, well, everyone.
Well, according to a report from Upcomer, the London Spitfire will apparently have to travel an estimated 76,923 miles during Season 3. And according to that same report, the Boston Uprising will have to travel an estimated 71,460 miles as well.
Flying all over the world all season long is stressful. And most pros preferred the idea of just staying home all day and streaming on Twitch instead. After all, they'd probably pick up more views than the Overwatch League would on YouTube.
Okay,
Players began retiring ahead of the planned home and away game format, many of them moving to Valorant, Riot's newly announced tactical shooter that looked like it was angling for Overwatch's player base.
I think if anything, Overwatch was just like a stepping stone to get here where I am now, because now I just feel at home, man. I'm playing a game that's like a hybrid of like CS and Overwatch.
It's easy to say that Valorant is
so
what
funny,
finally
dude.
put the last
This
nail
guy,
in Overwatch's
dude.
coffin.
Guys, this guy always felt like a high school typical Chad, dude.
It's easy to say that Valorant is what finally
Chad, he's
put
got
the
like the
last
diamond
nail
ears
in
and
Overwatch's
shit.
coffin.
He would go to the
But if we're
clubs
being
and
honest,
shit. It is what it
Blizzard
is.
itself is to blame for the game's downfall. When Overwatch came out in 2016,
You know the meme like chill with the hottest dudes at the chess restaurants, whatever, right? Those are very dude. Actually, at the coolest clubs with the hottest bitches and wearing the coolest clothes.
Blizzard
it is
was
what
one of
it
the most
is.
beloved companies in gaming. Since then, their reputation has been destroyed by scandals, baffling business decisions, and the reveal that women employees are treated horribly at the company. Balance issues and weird league format that didn't end up actually happening because of COVID aside, a lot of people just didn't want to play Blizzard games anymore. But Blizzard wants people to remember the good old days of 2016, when they were hyped for a new Overwatch game.
Monsieur, does this mean Overwatch is
Don't
back?
do it. They're not gonna play the. Don't do it.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Someone needs to get fired. I don't give a shit. So I don't give a shit. Whoever is working at esports, okay. If you miss this meme, that's.
That's right, they announced Overwatch 2. But why? Fans asked why there even needed to be.
Monsieur, does this mean Overwatch is back?
No.
In Overwatch 2 when features are added to Overwatch 1 all the time. They thought it was a money grab, making people pay $50 to keep playing literally the same thing with an updated UI.
I mean, dude. You're dealing with the stone cold killer Violet.
Same game.
Overwatch 2 was Blizzard finally delivering the death blow to Overwatch 1. After all, why play the game when it's just a waiting room for the sequel? The Overwatch League suffered too. COVID annihilated excitement for the game because of online play, but now the whole league was blindsided by finding out that they were playing a game that didn't even matter anymore. Not to mention the fact that Overwatch 2 was moving from 6v6 to 5v5 in an attempt to cover for Blizzard's total inability to balance the game. That meant that every franchise was going to have to cut a starting player, and pros were not happy.
Wait, you think 5v5 is the solution? How about you balance your game instead next time?
The game keeps getting delayed, and somehow
95 is
they're
ahead,
going to
though.
be playing the next season of the Overwatch League on an unreleased version of Overwatch 2, which doesn't
Candy Crush?
inspire a lot of confidence.
For me, if the game isn't ready and the community gets that initial touch and they're not happy with it, that's, in my opinion, really bad for the game, the esport, and potentially Blizzard.
Ultimately, it wasn't one thing that killed Overwatch esports. It wasn't Mercy or Brigitte or Goats. It wasn't moving to YouTube.
Chat, aren't they like milking a lot of money out of Hearthstone still because of macros?
Or planning home and away games. It wasn't charging insane prices to get into a league that few ended up caring about. It wasn't Valorant or Overwatch 2 either. What killed Overwatch was Blizzard. It was an avalanche of decisions that kneecapped the game before it could really succeed and become the massive esport its fans knew it could be. But the game is still popular. Casual fans love it, and they always have. There's still a good game hiding under all of Blizzard's mistakes and screw-ups. The Overwatch League is still chugging along, and Blizzard is going to use Overwatch 2 as a fresh start. The question is, can anyone really trust them this time?
Thanks for watching.
If you this episode came out at really bad timing. Very bad timing, chat, with the Blizzard incident.